Hi, Ben Skerritt here. Welcome back to free training video number 2. In this video, we're back here with Captain again, and we're going to be talking about all those strategies that I used yesterday to get your horse to catch you. Because again, as I talked about yesterday, in most situations, most people go out and catch their horse. They don't have their horse catch them. Okay, so ultimately what I'm looking at here is to solve those catching problems and to have your horse catch you. Even if your horse doesn't have a catching problem, you might want to get your horse to the point where when you come in the paddock, he's so happy to see you that he wants to come and catch you. Okay, so we're going to run through a lot of the strategies today and talk more about the exact techniques that I use and the exact strategies that I use to get a horse to want to catch you. Okay, and then I'm going to talk about a little bit about psychology. I'm going to talk a bit about the application of it. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that you need to make sure that you're in an enclosed area. Okay, this is a round pen. This is probably about a 17, 18 meter round pen, and the reason why I'm in here is because when I'm in here and the horse decides he wants to run around, he's going to do all the running, not me. Okay, so I've seen a lot of people, talk to me about the scenarios they had and the situations they had where they had to try and catch their horse in a 5-acre paddock. And they said, yeah, Ben, I was out there for 2 or 3 hours, and I just got so exhausted that by the end of it I just gave up. And that's, in most cases, you do give up because you're in such a big paddock that the horse is going to beat you hands down. Horses are big, strong animals. They're designed to run and run and run. When they get on adrenaline and there's something trying to catch them, they're designed to outrun those predators. Okay, and especially us, because we're not really designed to run that much, and nor to outrun our horse. So the first thing is that we need to make sure we have a smaller area to play this catching game in. Okay, because we need to make sure that if the horse wants to run, he can run, but we're not going to have to run with him. Okay, we can stand in the center and let him do all the running and wait for the little moments where he might start thinking about coming into us. Okay, so the second thing is that you need to have a bit of time. Okay, some horses will take longer, some horses will take a very short period of time to understand this concept. Some horses, once they get running, it's hard to get them to slow down. It takes a while for them to come off that adrenaline and want to think about relaxing and start thinking about what they might have to do to get rid of that pressure and to stop running. So your horse, every horse is going to vary a little bit. We need to make sure that we look at the horse as an individual, and we again make sure we're in this enclosed area. And some other strategies that you need to be aware of too are the fact that you don't want to be in a hurry to catch a horse. Okay, a lot of people, they just get too impatient, and before the horse even gets a chance to where they're starting to turn in and look at them, the people are already getting frustrated. So you always want to be offering the horse the opportunity to come in. Okay, so you would have noticed yesterday in the video, every now and again I'd turn, I'd face, I'd spiral backwards, and I'd give that horse the opportunity to come in, and it was his choice whether he wanted to come in or not. If he didn't want to come in, I could say, it's fine, you can keep trotting around the outside until you feel more ready to come in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just let Captain go, and I'm going to run you through some of the more nitty-gritty techniques and things that I use to get the horse to want to come in and catch you. It's not all technique, a lot of it's learning to read the horse. Okay, so I'm going to talk about aspects of horse behavior, how to read when the horse might be thinking about starting to come in, and so you might be able to offer them in that moment the opportunity to come in and and say hello and see if they want to check in with you. So I'll take this halter off and let Captain go and see what he offers us today. So if you're with your horse, you can do it exactly the way I've just done it. Come into the round pen, take your halter off, and what I normally do is I just get started real quick. I just walk off and see if the horse follows me. If the horse follows me, then great. Okay, then I'll just walk away and let the horse follow me. Let's hope Captain's not got too smart here and realise that the best place for him is to be behind me. He probably has realised that a little bit. Then I might start doing things like, if my horse is following me too much, I might walk the other way and try and get the horse to where he gets a bit distracted and wants to do something else. Okay? Or if I'm really having trouble, what I'll do is I'll just go outside of the round pen and try it from the outside and walk out and let the horse not associate with me at all, and then come back in 15-20 minutes. So the horse then has had the opportunity to get distracted and do something else for a little while. And it looks like that might be what I have to do with Captain here. So it looks like I've trained him too well. So while I'm walking around here, I'll explain a few things about what I'm doing. The first thing is that if I come towards a horse, whenever he turns his hindquarters on that side, I'll swap sides and I'll turn out and go around the other way. Okay, so I'll play this little game of when I turn, will the horse turn with me? Okay, so if he gives me a yield that way and he moves and he brings his nose towards me from that side, then I'll go the other way. Okay, so I can go out around this way, and I want to get eventually to where every time I walk around here, it's almost like he wants to keep his nose on me and he doesn't want to give me his hindquarter. And that's what you want. You want the horse to almost feel as though his nose is super glued to your back. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out of the round pen for a few minutes and then come back in, and we'll start over again. And so I'll catch you in a minute. Hi guys, so I'm back again. I've been out of the round pen for a few minutes. As you can see, Captain's got his bum towards me. So I'm going to run through now how to start this process out. Now, the first thing is that you want to have your rope, looped up a few times and bundled up in your hand, so that you can either tap it against your leg or you can throw it at the horse. Okay. That's one of the two techniques I use. I either tap it against my leg or throw it towards the horse's hip. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, instead of approaching the horse directly, I'm going to go and see if I can get round behind him. Now if he turns and faces me, then I'm going to turn to the outside and walk around, right around in the big circle, round back in the opposite direction. So I'm going to walk in kind of casually and relaxed if I can, try to look not too sneaky. So I'm just going to walk in kind of casually, and if he turns and faces me, that's good. If he doesn't, okay, if I can get to where I've got no eyes, okay, then I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on him. If he turns and faces me, I'm going to walk away. Okay, so whenever he gives me two eyes and gives me that engagement, I'm going to walk away, walk in the opposite direction, then walk out and around and come back in. If he turns and faces me that way again, I'm going to step and walk out the other way. And I can gradually use these counter arcs or half circles and get a little closer each time, going around in front of his nose. Okay, he turned again, so I turn and walk away again. Now what this does eventually is it starts to get the horse to move their feet a bit more, and they'll start gradually starting to step forwards. That's what I want. There we go. So as I get closer, I can start coming in a little closer to him and ask that nose to turn and face. Okay, because we want to catch a horse. Common logic says that we need to have the horse's nose, don't we? I haven't seen too many people put a halter on a horse's bum or under their tail. So we need to make sure that we think logically. What we want the horse to do is to always want to stick his nose to us and to turn and face us. Okay? So we want to make sure the horse, really wants to just glue his nose to my back and our backs. And once the horse starts following me, I'm just going to walk away. Okay, and I'll walk out in big circles, and then I might start walking in different directions to see if they start following me. Like I want the horse to catch me, you know. So it's this little game of, can the horse catch me, you know? So I can walk a little faster, I can turn, and you wouldn't start out going really fast, you know. You might just be happy if the horse follows you, and so you wouldn't do too much fast turning, it might scare the horse. But if once the horse gets the idea, you can start playing more with the idea of getting it to really catch you. So the horse sees it as a game, you know, hurry up and catch my human. And occasionally, once your horse is really starting to get close to you, you can stop and just sort of sit there and allow the horse to get comfortable in your space. Okay? So I'm going to explain a couple more things here about approaching the horse. Okay, so a lot of people, when they approach horses, they approach them wrong. That's one of the reasons why a lot of horses don't like being caught. As I talked about yesterday, the first thing that I talked about, and the first reason why a lot of horses are hard to catch, is because they don't like the way that people approach them. Okay, that people approach too directly, they're too aggressive, they're too confrontational, and the horse just doesn't like it. So the horse decides to not be a part of that, basically. Okay, so I'm going to come a little closer here, so it's easier, and demonstrate this. So once the horse can follow you and he's pretty happy to kind of be around you, we can start, as I said, I'll start showing you some strategies, and you can start applying some strategies to get him more comfortable about you approaching him. So one of the big strategies for approaching horses that have that personal space threshold that I talked about is using approach and retreat. Okay, or approach, wait, retreat. Okay, so one of the things that I'll do is I'll try and find the horse's personal space threshold, or their bubble. Okay, and find that threshold. It'll be an imaginary line, imaginary bubble, that if you burst it, the horse will get a little bit offended and maybe walk away or turn their head away. Okay, so what I do to find that is I walk towards the horse. Okay, and if the horse at any point turns away, then I'm going to use that as a threshold. Just to say I went to here and Captain turned his head away. He did that a little bit yesterday in the end of the video. So if I came to here and he turned his head away like that, or tried to start walking away, then I know that that's my threshold. Okay? So if you've got a horse that gets to where they really follow you well, but then they don't like you approaching them, then what I would do is play this little threshold game with them. And if you go to approach them, and let's say you accidentally go too far and the horse trots off, then all you're going to do is just put pressure on them again. You know, tap your leg, throw the rope at them, towards them a little bit, angle it towards the hip, and let them trot around a little bit till they want to come in again. So it doesn't matter if they run away from you and, or not, but what I want you to start becoming conscious of is that the personal space thresholds that the horse has. Start getting the horse more comfortable with you going into their personal space and going out of it and going in again. Okay, using approach, wait, retreat. Okay, so if your horse was bite, this is his threshold here, you approached in, he got offended, okay, you would wait at that threshold. Okay, don't walk any further for a second, and if he turned his head away and then he turned his head back, then you could wait there a little bit and then retreat again. So step out of that personal space threshold again, then step in again. And the first place that I like to touch a horse is on the nose. So I like to put my hand out, see if the horse will meet me halfway. If they won't, they feel okay about it, I'll just kind of gradually allow them to sniff my hand. Okay, and if they sniff your hand, then a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take my hand away. Okay, but I want them to acknowledge and feel like it's partly their idea to smell me. Okay, so once they can, the first place is the nose. The next place that I'll come and approach is the shoulder. So I'll see if I can walk in. See there, he kind of blocked me. Okay, and that's all right. So the horse has a threshold there. I don't force it. Okay, all I do is I just might rub him on the nose and then retreat a little bit, or just come into this point and wait. Okay, to see if I can see there's a threshold, he wants to block me there. So I just wait here in this position. If he can relax a little bit, then I might walk back a step. Okay, so approach, wait, retreat. Then I might approach again. Yeah, there's a little better that time. A little more happy about it. And some horses are going to be more bothered about this than others. He doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. Okay, so I go to that point, and then I come into the shoulder here. I really want to make a strong point emphasis of the next place you want to touch the horse is that where at the point of the shoulders here, where the shoulders meet the withers. Okay, I want to be rubbing the horse and touching the horse there. That's the next place I want to touch them. And once they're comfortable with that, I'll work my way down using approach and retreat to where I can rub them here maybe. I'm not going to even put the halter on at all at this point. All I want to do is just get them comfortable with me being around them in all different ways. Then another thing I might do is bring my halter up, you know, and touching with my halter there. You know, first at the wither, then maybe at the back, and see if I can just rub the horse down with that halter, rub him along the back and make it comfortable. Maybe even get to where I could scratch the horse a little bit. Because, you know, you've got to look at it from the horse's perspective. They want it to be comfortable. The more that you can associate yourself with something that's comfortable and safe and enjoyable and fun, the more the horse is going to want to be caught, okay? So I rub the horse, you know, and then I might just walk away again, okay? And if the horse follows me, good. If he doesn't, I'll apply some of those strategies again. Okay, so he followed me again, so that's really good. Okay, so I don't have to chase him anymore. And I can walk around and just play this little catching game again. You know, walk to the left, kind of sharp. See if he'll turn and face me, walk the other direction. After a while, your horse just starts getting really clever about keeping his nose glued to your back. Okay, and then occasionally I'll stop again. Okay, maybe let him smell me a little bit, smell my hand. You know, and then maybe come and see if I can approach his shoulder again. Pretty happy with that. If I find a threshold, I work on the threshold. Okay, use approach, wait, retreat. Come into the base of the shoulder, come into the back, and really just make this a really comfortable experience. Occasionally what I might do then is something like this. I might come and rub it right down the hindquarter, then I might just step out here like this, see what happens. Okay, there we go. So he's still wanting to follow me, which is good. Okay, so you can see some little strategies here that I've got and the techniques that I use to get the horse to want to catch me. You know, we've got to think that we want the horse to mentally, emotionally and physically want to be caught. You know, he's got to have that desire, and we've got to use horse psychology and understand their behavior to, first of all, recognize when he might be wanting to come in so that we can allow him to come in, and second of all, to use the psychology to create the incentive for him to want to come in. Okay, so we use behavior to recognize the change in behavior when he might want to come in, and then we use the psychology of making it uncomfortable to be out there and to be away from us, and make it safe and comfortable for him to be with us. That's what's going to essentially make the horse want to be with us. Okay, that feeling of being comfortable in here and uncomfortable being out there, and feeling safe in here and unsafe out there. Thanks for tuning in to free training video number 2. We'll see you in free training video number 3. Thanks for watching.